Welcome to the Biz Gone Social podcast. We help entrepreneurs navigate how to get known, get customers, and get the edge over their competition. Here is your host, Lorraine Duncan.
So here we are on the Biz Gone Social podcast, and I'm so glad to be here. And my promise to you, as always, is I want to give you a little bit of verbal caffeine that's going to energize your business. It's going to help you stay social. And after all, don't you really want to be the business everyone's talking about? I know I do. So I am so stoked to have here today a special guest, Katrina Murphy. Welcome.
Thank you, Lorraine. It's great to be here.
And can you just tell me a little bit about your business and what you do?
I am a life coach. I work in areas of mindset and confidence. So essentially I work with, leaders, principals, people, high achievers, people in a position of influence. And I help them to change the relationship that they have with themselves so that they can show up differently at work and at home. And so when we change that foundational relationship, how we show up changes, right?
Awesome. And can you just tell me, it's interesting. So you're a coach.
Yes.
So if you go online today, there's like 3 million bazillion coaches out there.
Right.
What separates you from the others?
Well, I know that I don't like that this is kind of part of the profession that I've chosen, but there's a lot of coaches that their hearts are not in the right place. And so I'm a coach who really cares about the success of my clients. I love what I do. I love making a difference for people, and I love creating impact in their lives. So it's those moments when they get the like something clicks, they get an aha. And that's what I live for. The fact that I earn a living doing it is amazing, but I really care so profoundly about the success of my clients. And I'm passionate about people transforming their lives, because I know from personal experience that you don't have to live feeling disconnected from who you are, or feeling like you're kind of lost without really any sense of direction or purpose. So I'm really passionate about transforming that for my clients.
Yeah, that's awesome. And for those of you out there who've had the aha experience, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I come from a place personally where I think it's so important that you have a coach in your life. And, it's different. It's different than therapy. It's different. It's so different. And I think it's a better place because, therapy has its purpose, but this is like you work on stuff and you achieve your goals. You get to where you want to be. You become that person that you want to become. I think that's awesome. And it's a great space to be in. Mm-hmm. What would you say to someone, like therapy, for some reason, sometimes coaching also has that same stigma that there's something wrong with you because you need a coach in your life, or there's something wrong with you because you need a therapist in your life. What would you, if I came to like a discovery call with you and said, I'm just checking this out, but I really kind of don't believe in it. And why should I get coached? I mean, I don't understand. What would you do with like the doubter? How would you, not that you need to convince, but how would you answer their question?
Right. So my discovery call is based around giving someone a coaching experience. So for me, I'm going to dive right in and say, well, tell me what you're challenged with. And let's pick that apart a little bit and give them the experience of coaching so that they can see the impact that it creates for them. Right. And when you're talking about therapy being so useful for so many people, the difference with therapy and coaching is that coaching is really focused on the future. Coaching is, understanding who we are and why we are that way, but really taking actionable steps to create what it is that you want to create in your life. So it's very focused, future focused. For people who are doubting, then literally it's having the experience of chatting with a coach and feeling the impact of having someone support you, but also show you what you can't see about yourself, and having those little aha moments within that conversation.
Yeah, and if you directly go to that challenges, we all have challenges in life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very coachable moment, and that's when they get to hear the process. It's interesting. I very much, like many of your clients, at one point went for one of those discovery calls, and it was amazing. And to be honest, I remember saying to the person who coaches me and still coaches me to this day, I said to her, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't care about what people think of me, and
Right.
I don't need to be coached.
Right.
I remember saying that. And the reason,
Right.
full disclosure here is the reason I went to that discovery call was because I was studying to be a coach, and literally I had to be coached by someone.
Yeah. I myself, like, I've worked with coaches. I continue to work with coaches. I don't have the same coach all the time because I have different needs, right? And I love working with different coaches because they see things about me differently. How I show up for them is different than how I've shown up for a different coach, but they can lend me new awareness. They can offer me new discoveries about who I am. But I think that everyone can benefit from working with a coach, right? We have this stigma. It's about mental health or mental wellness. The reality is we all have challenges. We are human beings. No one's life is perfect, despite what you see on social media. Everyone has challenges. And so whether you've just been promoted and you want to show up to the best of your ability, or be supported as you kind of transform into that new role, what does that look like? Or you can actually say something's wrong. Like, I need to talk to somebody. Whether it's support you're looking for, or you're looking for someone to actually help you figure out what's not working in your life so that you can change that, everyone can benefit from working with a coach. But there is stigma. There is that, oh, what will people think if I tell them that I'm working with a coach, right? And that's a societal thing, right? That's, unfortunately, we don't have a problem taking a high blood pressure pill or medication for diabetes. But if there's something going on with our minds, we don't want to, engage a partner to help us figure out what's going on. Not that there's something wrong with us. It's understanding ourselves better at a higher level so that we can actually be aware of that and make changes so that we reach our full potential.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's so important. You said so many things. As you were talking this time and like a little bit before, I was just like, all these questions were popping in my head. But the bottom line is that what is the process? It's interesting. Like, so everybody coaches different, obviously. But it's important to know, it's like, I love that you say, first of all, I love that you said that it's always good to be, change things up again. I work with somebody that I've worked with for a while, but every year I also work with somebody else new. And you are so right. Here's the thing is when you get a fresh perspective,
right,
from someone else that sees it you for the first time, sometimes there's things that you don't even realize that you're doing that, like, why do I always feel that when I go in a room, for instance, I'm not enough? Or right. Why am I so scared of failing? Why am I not moving forward in this area of my life? Why do relationships always end this way? When you think about all of these things, it's getting a fresh pair of eyes on something, that sounding board. A lot of people think, well, I have my sounding board. I have my best friend, or I have my husband, or I have my significant other. A lot of people have that. And that's it's important to have them weigh in on things, but they know you know, and they're kind of used to the way that you do things, and they're okay with that. I mean, I remember one time somebody said to me while I was being coached, is like, you're changing a lot. And I was actually quite happy about that. I was like, but the problem is that then you realize that sometimes there's people along the way that you leave behind.
Yeah.
Too,
Right. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, people come in and out of our lives for different reasons. And sometimes we do grow to that point where you are leaving someone behind. but that's our journey. That's what this life is for, to become what we were meant to become, to reach that potential that we have inside of all of us.
Yeah. I can hear in your voice your passion. Why are you so passionate about coaching others? What brought it to coaching for you?
Right. So this has been lifelong for me. I have a degree in psychology and I'm a certified coach. I've always been passionate about understanding human behavior, what makes us tick, what makes us do what we do. And particularly coaching allows me to kind of dabble a little bit in the patterns of our history, of our upbringing. What was the messaging that we received as children or in the formative years of our lives? What are those things, those experiences that have formed who we are? So then we get to understand what it is, what we're doing. So we get to understand if we are, some of the most common things I see are self-sabotage and people pleasing and perfectionism and things like that, right? And it's interesting, you're nodding your head, and I know that, that's everyone can relate to some of those aspects. So why do we do those things? And I'm passionate about that. This has been lifelong for me, but I've actually walked this walk. And so, about 10 years ago, I really was struggling in my own life. And I felt completely detached, disconnected from who I was as a person. I had no idea who I was. Absolutely no idea. Somewhere in parenting and volunteering and business and life, I just woke up one day and I was like, what is this? Like, I've lost me in this whole process. And I think that can happen to anyone. It happens to women very often, but I think that disconnection from who you are, from your intuition, from your gut, from where you're supposed to go in this life, then you don't have any sense of meaning or purpose, or, you're completely lost. And I know that you don't have to stay like that. So when people reach out to me and they say, usually with the symptom, I don't feel confident in my new role at work, or, I feel like people are going to find out that I'm not capable in A, B, and C, and then I'm going to get fired, or whatever that is, whatever that symptom is. I'm really stressed and anxious all the time. I know that they don't have to stay in that place. And I think I understand what the root of that is.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm going to switch gears here a little bit for the last few seconds of the show here.
Okay.
So you're a business owner.
I am.
And I'm sure in your life, you work with, as being a coach, you work with some business owners that are pretty stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I want to ask you is, what do you like most for yourself about being in business for yourself?
So this is part of my journey as well. Really making those decisions that resonate with me, with who I am, with me instinctually, with my intuition, with my gut, right? I get to make those choices because as coaches, everyone sees coaching. They're on podcasts. Here I am with you. They're on videos and they're having talks and TED Talks and writing books and doing all of those things. And as a coach, I get to make the choices of who I want to serve and how I want to present myself. And for me, that's with and I laugh because I've just been challenged lately on this, but with authenticity, understanding myself, having walked this walk and showing up as exactly who I am, serving my clients to the best of my ability, but being able to control who comes in my door. Being able to show myself to the world in the ways that I want to, and controlling the clients that I work with.
Yeah, I mean, that's so important to be able, to be at that point. A lot of us aren't. I'm happy to say that I get to choose who I work with and who I want to work with. And I think that change, that makes everything in what you're doing worthwhile doing. And so we always talk, I mean, I ask this question to everybody that comes on the show is like, what do you love most about being in business for yourself and all that.
Right.
But what we always look at, everybody thinks being in business for yourself is glamorous, but there's some challenges. And I'd love you just to share one challenge that you think, pretty much presents itself to pretty much every business owner after they open up their own business.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Time for all of the things that you want to do in your business, right? Time, I mean, you have to make time for all of the clients, but as a business owner, there's networking, there's marketing, there's the back end, all of the invoicing and thing. And it's really important to have the right people supporting you as you grow in your business, so that you have someone, so that you don't have to be constantly worried about, did I invoice that person? Have I reconciled whatever I need to reconcile? Have someone to support you in the accounting. Have someone to support you in your marketing. Focus on where you want to go and serving clients and creating those connections that are going to really build your business. But time is the one thing, I think all of us, not just in business, but in life, right? It's the most valuable commodity.
Yeah, I used to do this talk a long time ago when I started out as being a coach and then morphed into social media. I used to do this talk on procrastination, and I showed this picture of this cat with his hair fried.
Yeah, right.
Really, when you procrastinate things, there's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so the bottom line is that maybe you're stressed because you procrastinated so much that you didn't do what you were supposed to do. But the bottom line is that time is such a good point that you bring up, and I appreciate that you brought that up. One of the things that I always ask my clients is, what's their favorite, because I'm BizGone Social. I own a digital marketing company. What is your favorite social media platform?
LinkedIn.
Awesome.
LinkedIn, hands
and
down.
Why?
Because the energy on LinkedIn are people who are there for business purposes. They're there to network, to build out their networks. But there's also this component of people being open to really being the best that they can be, to really reaching their potential. And so it's about business, but it's also about being, achieving more in your life, being more successful, reaching that potential, whatever that looks like for you, right?
Yeah. Truth be told, it's my favorite platform too, but don't tell anybody.
No.
I want to thank you, Katrina, so much for being on my podcast. And, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are thinking of going into business or maybe have some challenges in their lives, and you probably connected with them. So how would they be able to, do you have anything to offer, anything that you want to share with them before I close?
No, so for anyone who feels like, they'd like support in their lives, maybe you are challenged with something, or maybe you just want to have a partner with you as you move into this next phase of your life. So I always offer a 45-minute clarity call, and I will give you, that's when I'm going to coach you. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm going to give you that for free and make a difference for you in that very first call. And so people can reach out to me on LinkedIn, or I'm on a lot of social platforms, and just connect with me for a call.
Okay. And I'll put those links on the bottom of the post of the podcast.
Perfect.
So again, thank you so much. And everyone out there, thank you so much for listening. And until next week, I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Lorraine.
Thanks for listening to the BizGone Social podcast. Find us on Instagram at BizGone Social for extra tips. Check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, stay social.